John F. Kennedy was born on the 29th. We talked about 11s in the very beginning of this podcast. 2 and 9 is 11. Very charismatic individual. We talked about charisma with the 11s. But John F. Kennedy was aware of numerology.
Yeah.
And the reason you know that is because he signed Executive Order 11110 on 6/4/1963. So think about it. 11/11/11/11. He waited until that executive order, and what that did was it stripped the Federal Reserve of its power to print. So from 6/4/1963 until the day he was killed, 11/22/1963, the Federal Reserve wasn't printing American money. That's why you have silverback certificates by the U.S. government. So John F. Kennedy did that. That's why they major reason they killed him right there. Not because Israel had a nuclear weapon and all of this. That's all nonsense, man. It had something to do with it, but it wasn't the big picture. The big picture was the Federal Reserve. The day he was assassinated, Lyndon Johnson, before the fucking body was even cold, his first executive order was repealing Executive Order 11110. So again, they used numerology. He used numerology against the elite, and the elite used it against him. Because in numerology, there's something called master numbers. 11, 22, 33.
Yeah, 11.
Guess what? They killed him 11/22. That's the only date in the year where you have an 11 and a 22.
It's pretty wild how much the 11 and stuff's out there. Because I've always noticed there's always 11 on things.
It basically means you're more evolved than most people that you're noticing stuff like that. It means your soul is more evolved and things of that nature. Most people don't see this stuff.
I've always noticed 11, certain numbers you constantly see repeated places, 7s.
No, I mean, listen, when you look at, let's talk about the top podcasters, okay? Would it be safe to say that Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan's number one.
And by the way, shout out to Joe Rogan's dad, a good friend of mine.
Oh, nice.
Joe Rogan's born on the 11th.
Is he?
A lot of charisma. Who do you think was the most controversial guy on radio and podcasts the past 20 years?
Past 20 years? Is it Rogan or controversial? Not that controversial. I don't know.
Alex Jones, maybe?
Oh, yeah, Alex Jones. That sounds right.
He's born on the 11th.
Interesting.
Who's the one streamer that took it to the next level?
I don't really follow streamers. Nico's like the only streamer I know. And
He's big, but he's not that guy.
Yeah, I don't really follow streaming at all.
You ever hear of a guy named Aiden Ross?
I've heard of him, but I don't know him.
Yeah, Aiden Ross is most likely the guy who took streaming to the next level, and he's born on the 11th. So people with certain birthdays, you see him doing the same thing.
Yeah.